Boom. Welcome, everyone. Most men listening to this are winning on paper. Money's coming in, business is growing, but behind the scenes, low energy, disconnection, no presence. And stats say 50% of high performers wake up anxious. 80% don't truly feel seen. So the question is, are you building a life or escaping one? Today, I've got Josh, founder of Uncommon Men Project. He's helping high-performing men go from achieving mode to alignment mode. Josh, welcome to the show, brother.
Thanks, brother. Happy to be here, mate. Happy to be here.
Where are you calling from today?
I'm in New Zealand, in a little town called New Plymouth, just down by the ocean, mate. It's a good spot.
How is New Zealand this time of year?
Usually it's pretty horrible, but right now it is those crisp autumn days, blue sky, southerly blowing. The sea looks oily. It is stunning at the moment, so I can't complain.
Nice. So tell me, Josh, what was the moment you realized success wasn't enough for you? Such a loaded question, huh?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It was funny because success has become multiple things as I change throughout life, and as you go through the different seasons of life. When I was younger, success was going to be. I never really got there. Was fast cars and girls with big boobs. That was success, and it was cool because it was one of the things that actually drove me down in business. I was in teaching and education originally, and I remember I had this old classroom, room 42, and I thought my old man was a dentist. And he had these books of like superyachts in the waiting room. And I was always like, man, I want one of those boats. I can want one of those boats. And I remember being in my classroom going, the maths doesn't add up. I'm never going to be able to afford one of those boats. And that was my first version of success. And it drove me actually to one of my first personal development books by a guy called Dr. Kerry Spackman, The Winner's Bible. I've still got it on my shelf, but there's probably still my file somewhere where I built it. So success was that. And then I actually went and lived on the boats and worked on the boats, for a couple of, at the time, some of the wealthiest men in Europe. That was my first taste of like, fuck, I don't know if this is success, eh? I was like, shit. So that changed. And then now the success is different. Do I still have drive to make money and do business? Absolutely. Like that's still definitely there. Do I want things? Less things these days, but the things that I do want still carry a reasonable price tag. I love bikes. So being able to have a bike that I want is success for me. But the biggest flex, I think, and the biggest thing for me in success now is slow mornings. I don't have to get up and go anywhere. That's key. And I can wake up and just cuddles with my son in bed, go for a walk with him and the dog, and then coffee with my missus in the morning. That is success for me. And then I get craving to go to work. So I crave to go to work. I'm like, fuck, I wonder what the guy's doing today. How my client's doing? What's going on? What can we do? What can we tweak? What can I learn? What can I share? How can I serve? So that has become success, realizing that the other success was never going to be enough in that way. It's a bit of a roundabout, but I hope that answers your question.
Oh, it's perfect. It's actually, that simple pleasures and living the life on your own terms that really counts in the long run. Now tell me, what did your life look like when you were winning but misaligned? Or were you always living the perfect life?
I'm pretty quick to pivot. I'm very quick to pivot. When something isn't working, I'm pretty quick at going, okay, something's not working. Something needs to change. I measure this with my guys. I'm like, right, man, to have the life that you want takes one thing. The start of the domino, the first domino to fall, and you have to have courage because it takes courage to change. And some people might be in the job that they don't like, or that takes courage to change. It might be in the relationship you don't like. That takes courage to change. And when we're young, we actually don't need as much courage to change because we don't have as much riding on it. You might not have a mortgage, you might not have a family to support. You got all these things. So as you age, the weight that you have to move in order to change is a lot more. So the courage you have to take is a lot bigger. The willpower, the courage, and everything like that. So there has been times in my life where I've got the title. So I thought the title would be the success. I got the CEO of the 7-figure company and the blah, blah, blah. I was fucking exhausted, man. I was tired. I was like in the bathtub, working on appointments, making sure the team was all right, doing all of these things. But everybody's like, man, you're like the CEO of a company now. I'm like, yeah, man, and I can have less fun today than I've ever had. This is wild. And so that was probably a time in my life where I was there for the longest period of time. I was there because I was learning, and that was a big part of my values at the time. Like growth was probably number one, and I was willing to sacrifice whether it was salary or time or whatever it is, just to get knowledge and grow. So that was probably the longest time where I looked successful, but felt the opposite, exhausted and tired and everything that comes along with that side of things. Yeah.
I mean, you work with many clients. Tell me, what pain do most men hide that no one talks about? Is there any patterns that you see?
There is the emptiness that comes. So I got God, I'm lucky with the people I work with. They're phenomenal. Guy, he about 150K loss last year, and then now he just messaged me today. And he goes, "Hey mate, we just reviewed last month's P&Ls. It's actually more than that now. It's 970. We're 30K short of $1 million a month." I was like, "Fucking well done, mate. That was your goal. You're doing well. That's great." But a couple of months ago, it was doing great. I think they were doing about 800K a month. And he's like, "Josh, I had the weekend with my family, and like this is everything I've been working for. Fuck, man, I felt empty, and I feel really guilty saying that." And I'm like, "No, man, that's totally cool. That's absolutely 100% normal." However, men don't get told that it's normal. They just pile on this guilt for the shame that they have that spending time with their family, they're like, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. I feel empty. Like, what am I doing here? Is this even my purpose? I thought being with my family and my partner was the thing. Why am I not feeling awesome with this? I've ticked all the boxes. What the fuck? And that, without the right challenge and support, sends men into absolute spirals. And that's when we use the term, if you don't initiate yourself, life will. And you watch men who have midlife opportunities and they just fucking squalor them through savagery versions of self-sabotage. It's devastating to watch, man. They either think, I feel empty in a relationship because the relationship shit and we don't have sex anymore, or there's no fire, or there's no spark. So maybe that's the thing. I've got to get rid of that. I'm bored of my business. I'll get rid of that. And most of the time it's not selling it. They bury it and then start again because they're addicted to the excitement of starting something. And that's where they find their purpose. And it's just, people might not think it is, but it's textbook. I watch it. It's just a map that I watch guys run, and I'm like, dude, you're heading down this path. I can see the end. I can see all the things. No. I'm like, that's cool, man. I can see it 1,000 times. So that is something I see men hide. It's not necessarily, there's resentment and all the things. I work for the money of the family. I do all these things for you. That's the lie us men tell ourselves. We work because we love to work. We love to provide. We crave responsibility. We fucking love that shit. And we love the hustle. We love all those things. And we pretend that it's for our families when actually what our families truly want is that presence. But because we feel an emptiness when we're not doing, we find turmoil. And that's what I see most men hide. They call them successful or high performance men. And often when people refer to high performance, they refer to guys who are crushing it in business, like guys who have got great bank accounts. And I'm like, yeah, mate, that's cool if that's your version, and everybody's allowed their version of high performance or success. And I'm like, I've got mine, and that's cool. But
What's
that's
your
when I see
definition of success? I know everyone has their own.
mine's that the freedom to choose. So optionality for me is success. Can I go away this weekend and not have to work? Can I choose where I go this weekend? Can I fly anywhere? Could I drive anywhere? Can I do something with my family? What can I do with my body? Is my body good? Can I operate there? Those things are really important for me. Money is great. I'm not one of those guys who pushes aside the fact that money can't buy happiness. It buys me bikes, and bikes make me very happy. But it's not the be all end all. It's just nice to be met with your money, that you've got a life that you can choose to do those things. And that to me is a great version of success. I'm sure the billions, I can't tell you what it feels like to have $1 billion. I've never had $1 billion. I'm sure it has its benefits, but it's not something that I'm driven towards. It's not my vision of success.
You mentioned earlier that it takes courage really to change things, obviously. Now, what's the cost of ignoring the inner misalignment long term?
So that's when I say life moves on you. Life will initiate you, because my belief is we're a soul having the human experience. I'm life having the human experience as Josh Hamilton, and I'm here to grow. I'm here to experience life. And if I don't choose my initiations, fuck it, it'll throw it on you. Your wife leaves you. You'll develop a sickness. Your business collapses. Something will throw it on you, so you are forced to grow. And so if you have the courage to choose your initiation, at least you get to choose it. At least you get to choose it rather than having it thrust upon you. So choose your initiations as the new experience, or we call it sticking your chin out. Hey, mate, in our coaching containers, what am I not seeing? And that's a man sticking his chin out because I'm like, dude, I got a lot that you're not seeing. Here it all is. And it's hard because it carries shame, it carries guilt. And a man who's willing to face that, I'm like, cool, man, you're up for initiation all the time. And there'll be micro initiations. They don't need to be huge ones. We take our guys through 3 huge ones every year, but you're always having these micro initiations. Next stage, it might be your wife comes at you and she's arguing, she's on fire. And that's your initiation. Can you stand? Can you stay? Can you not run away? Can you be a true man rather than just a male? And these are all these initiations that we take these guys through. And this is the crazy thing, Philip. This is the crazy thing. Men want to die all the time. All the time. We fucking love living on the edge. Even when we have sex and we orgasm, we have a micro death. The heart fucking panics. It's like we love this thing. It's why it's the difference between when you have a boy and a girl growing up. The boy's just fucking mental. He's climbing trees, he's jumping off shit, he's doing all the things because the masculine is about coming to an end of something. It's about driving to the end and getting on that precipice. And that precipice is where the change happens. And so actually, we fucking love initiations. We're just scared shitless of them at the same time. So we try and force them out of our lives. But if we live with them and we choose them, life is just, fuck, mate, it's filled with excitement, it's filled with passion, it's filled with purpose. And you're living on that line where you're most alive. And that is, for men listening, if they're looking for a relationship or wondering why the hell their relationship's dying, it's because you fucking are. It's like, it's the most attractive thing in a man is a driven man, and a driven man is one who's on purpose and who's initiating himself all the time because he's fucking living on the edge. Like it's exciting. And the women are like, what is it about that guy? What is it about your husband? What is it about your mates? And it's like, fuck, he's just doing what he loves and he's always on edge. He's always pushing himself. Oh, can I go a little bit faster? Or fuck, I wonder if I can get a little bit closer to that. Or I wonder if we can shave a little bit off here. Like it's always there. And that's the courage piece. And man, the rewards far outweigh the courage that it takes to live there. They really do.
Boom. Nicely said. And why do high performers feel empty after hitting their financial goals for the most part?
Yeah, that's a great question. The analytics, or looking at what is the driver originally that got you to the goal. So there's 2 things, right? There's the stick and the carrot, or the lion and the carrot, whatever you want to call it. If you have a vision, great. Most people are not driven by vision. And it comes down to the simple rule is most people hate, well, all of us, I think I could probably put a generalization in there. We hate losing more than we love winning. It's as simple as that. So people are driven more by the tiger or the stick than they are by the carrot. And so most people drive for success or their level of high performance or whatever it is, and they get to the end goal, but they were driven by fear, emptiness, scarcity, all of those things. So if that's what you create with, what do you receive when you get to the end? What's the gift? It's the same energy that you created it with. It's more emptiness. It's more not enoughness. It's like if your continual drive is coming from a place of, I'm not good enough, I need more love, whatever your fucking childhood wounds are, there's always 2 of them, mother and father. There's always not good enough or not, not lovable or not worthy. So as soon as you drive from that, and it's cool to be driven from that, as long as you realize it, because at the end, you're going to have the emptiness. It's like, man, I thought this would be it. And you talk to anybody who's like, I thought 6 figures was going to be the mark. No, it's not. It must be 7. It must be 7 figures. That'll be the answer. Get there and they're like, fuck, that makes sense. It's just 8 figures. That's what it is. And you watch them go, and they genuinely explode themselves. But it's heart-wrenching to watch it. And I'm like, dude, a lot of people, and it's awesome now that it's out in the world, a lot of people would have listened to the idea of childhood trauma or inner child work or anything like that. And it's, for men, we are continually trying to prove ourselves to the archetypal father, not just our father, the archetypal father. It's the never-ending, unsatiable appetite of, am I good enough? It's impossible. It's impossible. But if you can realize that and gamify it, fuck, it becomes great fun and becomes a laugh. Fuck, yeah, maybe I won't be good enough, or maybe I'm not good enough at that. And also, I'm fucking amazing at the same time. Man, it's exciting playing this game. You know what? Making 7 figures, that was fun. That was a bit different. That was weird, man. You see all those obstacles we hit on the way? That was a bit of a blast. I wonder what it would be like to make 8. I wonder what challenges we would face going after an 8-figure business. Fuck, maybe I'll do this out of curiosity and rather than like burning myself out, or is it worth doing it? Am I that curious about it? And so that's why, what I believe anyway, is why people reach that level and they go, fuck, this isn't it. It's like, shit.
Now we went to that little rabbit hole of our programming,
Yeah.
our upbringing, energy that comes with it, how it makes us, the people we are today. Tell me now, the one of the biggest topics are that famous, burnout state. Is that actually a problem, or is it something deeper than that? What's your view on it?
8 months ago, no, probably 9, 10 months ago now, I would have told you, nah, it's just an alignment issue. You're not aligned with your work and that's causing you to feel exhausted. However, 2 years ago, I competed at the World Multisport Championships and then I qualified for the World Off-Road Tri and I did a half Ironman. I was doing all these things. I was back in my endurance space and I was frothing, but I did not feed myself well. I ate shit tons of sugar and carbs just because I thought I could because I was training. I became pre-diabetic, which was wild. Like you're talking a guy with a VO2 max of 62 and I came 12th in my division. I was doing all right. And I was like, fuck, my blood's saying pre-diabetic. And then my cortisol was tanked. I was running the business. I was trying to be a dad. I'd wake up in the morning exhausted. I'd be playing with my kid on the mat and I'd literally fall asleep 10 a.m. on the floor. I just didn't have the energy for my own son. And I was becoming the dad that I never said I wanted to be. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, right. So I went down the blood, went down all back, have a pretty massive health breakdown. And so I went down that path and kind of reinvigorated all that aspect of my life. And I was like, burnout's a real thing when you when you physically burn out, it's a thing. But I think there's different versions of it as well. There's an alignment burnout, which you could call spiritual. When you're so far misaligned from the work that you're doing that you just feel so empty. You feel so misaligned. But I also think people can break through that. I think people can get so far misaligned that they sell themselves down a hole that they just don't care and they just keep going. But yeah, the old me would have said, no, mate, you're not living your divine plan or you're not living on purpose. But I found out you're always living on purpose. Me destroying myself physically, mentally, and emotionally gave me so many things and so many resources that I learned. Now I'm like, oh, I'm helping out my clients with those things. And guys have more energy now, more buzz, they got more. I'm like, you're always on purpose. Always. That's a key piece to learn.
What are the early warning signs a man is drifting out of the alignment? Will that be that signs on the road?
Well, I'll use the signs that I didn't see in burnout. Because for a guy who trains men in it and, tries to keep them out of it, I didn't see the signs for 18 months. It was wild. And so what happened was I went to Europe. I was going to get married. I went and got married. I had 2 months. Like I dropped off work a lot. I was biking with my best mate. We had stag do's through Spain, cycling. I was doing all the things I loved. And I was like, I thought I'd be a lot happier. I thought this would be the pinnacle of my joy. I'm about to marry the woman of my dreams. I'm biking with my best mate, doing all these things. Like we've been thinking about this for 2 years. This should be wild. Didn't think about it at the time. Came back, had all the exhausting things happen. And then I never unpacked my bike. I just left it in the box in the garage. I was like, that's fucking weird. Normally I'd be like home, get that thing, and get back out on the road. And then joy was gone. There was just the moments didn't have this substance anymore. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Low level depression everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. This was the indication that has been happening for ages because it was way before this. But that losing joy in the simple things that used to bring you joy, key indicator, you are not in alignment. Key indicator, you're most likely burning out. And this is the crazy part because we don't see it in our society. I had a kid that disrupted sleep, still trained. Business got really hard, destroyed the business in a lot of ways. So revenue went down. It was super stressful. All of these things were happening and I just kept going and kept going and kept going. But what you didn't realize, it looked like nothing at the time. It looked like just another day because you had the kid and it's slow. You're like a frog in boiling water, but the pot's slowly boiling. And so it never really, even with major events like the Coast to Coast, the Ironman stuff, all of the stuff, even with that in my life, there was still not enough trigger in my life to be like, it was that thing. Just slowly wore out. So I look at men now and I'm like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I had a kid, but that was 3 years ago. I was like, yeah, man, yeah. You had a kid, so you had probably 15 months of disruptive sleep. You kept doing everything else normal. You might have kept going to the gym. You kept doing your business, everything else. And slowly your bucket just got a few more holes in it. And so you got to find more water at a faster pace to fill it up. And this is both women and men. And because we have like privatized families, you've just got your insular little home, you got your kids, two parents, there's no community stuff going on, yet you're still doing the work, you're still doing the parenting. There's all these elements that come to it, but we don't look at it and go, it's burnout because it's been happening for 3 years. It's slowly been killing you. So that's
Part of
a
your
really
identity to hustle and to.
yeah, exactly. I got to keep it up, right? Can't have a season in your life where you pull back a little bit on work, and you watch the revenue. Oh no, fuck, I got to keep growing.
Yeah, that's weak, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Nice. And how much of men's current life is driven by the childhood programming? Now NLP is popular. Everyone's talking about it.
Now, can be super helpful. I reckon it's a great starting platform for a lot of people. I reckon it's helpful in a lot of ways to bring awareness, which is cool. I shared a lesson just today actually with our business and execution guys. It's like, imagine you're a new CEO to a company and you've got a board of directors, and that board of directors tells you what to do every single day and tells you exactly the outcome that they want. It's a little bit frustrating as that CEO, freedom of range, you don't have it, but you're just told this is how you're going to do it. Change that to your CEO of your life. You're you. Your board of directors are now your grandfather, maybe your great-grandfather, your mom, your dad, your ex-lovers, whatever. They're all sitting there and they are telling you what to do every single day through the patterns that you have developed through your childhood. And that's I call it the default map of the world. And people will live that default map. And then the world is just a mirror. The world just mirrors exactly what is going on in you internally. If you've got scarcity in your life and that's your map of the world, fucking welcome to it, mate. You can get more of it. And this is what amazes me. People who have grown up in like war-torn countries or, scarce environments who turn that around, who change their nervous system, those fucking people are incredible. Because it's much easier to grow up in an affluent thing and have affluence continually mirrored to you because that's your natural state. That's how you've grown up, right? The people who change that and really transform the extremes are inspirational because that blows my mind. But yeah, I talk about the board of directors. And if people never understand the instructions that they're continually getting from that board, their life will continually be the mirror of what their thoughts are from them. And if you treat the world like a mirror, it's amazing. Because, man, you get to learn a lot. You can be like, okay, cool. What's this thing teaching me? What's it showing me that I am carrying that I no longer may choose to carry? And it also shows us it's like, fucking hell, that person's amazing. They can work. Oh, I love that person. Well, what's that showing you about you as well? Because there's both light and dark. It's like, fuck, that person's awesome. Well, if they're awesome, mate, there's something awesome about them that's obviously in you because otherwise you couldn't see it. And so often people doing the work, I really hate that term, but it's one way to explain it. It's like we go down the shadow and we always look at the dark and we develop the self-critic and we're overanalyzing all the time and life becomes this continual self-development journey. I'm like, bro, lighten up. Fucking have a laugh. Like, when's the last time you looked in the mirror and thought, fuck, you're a bit of a cool cat? Like, man, you look at somebody else and you're just in awe of what they've done and you're like, yeah, that exists in you too, dude. Otherwise you couldn't see it. Enjoy the good. Enjoy the light. Like, have a laugh because it's a fucking hilarious ride when you look at it. And we always end up at the cosmic joke at the end of the day. And when you get the cosmic joke, you chuckle. Sometimes it's a long path to that cosmic joke and sometimes it's brutal. But once you get there, you always chuckle.
Yeah, real roller coaster, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
And what's your practical framework for starting to rewire that?
I actually have this. I trained under a guy called Paul Check, and he's still across the board
It's
has
amazing.
one of the guy. He's a freaking beast, bro. He's a beast. He's about yay tall, but he's an absolute savage. Like he is an encyclopedia for a brain and a body of about a 23-year-old and 2 wives and enough testosterone for the world. Awesome dude. Interesting character. But anyway, he developed it's just a little toy called the coin flip. And what he does, you would say it's probably the foundation is probably an NLP. It's the change of awareness. So I just share with my guys, look, Einstein said it, energy is never destroyed or created. It's just transformed. So I'm like, well, cool. Neurons in your brain are literally just carrying energy. They carry electric frequency, and that is your thought pattern. And so you can't destroy that, but you can transmute it. And so I share the understanding of like, if you're depressed or you're having a shitty life and there's scarcity everywhere, it's like, well, that's your highway. You've got a motorway to that. You've got a motorway to unhappiness and you've got a dirt track to happiness and abundance. Cool. The motorway's there, the energy's there, the frequency's there, the thought pattern's there. So we just got to transmute it. Most people try affirmations and they just go and they're like, I'm amazing, I'm amazing, I'm amazing. I'm like, yeah, but that's coming from the deep subconscious place. I think it's 40 million times more powerful than your conscious mind, something crazy. It's coming from the place of, I'm not amazing, I'm not amazing. I'm like, so you're never going to change that. It's always, you're just reinvigorating that pattern. The coin flip is simply the awareness of it and the gratitude for that. Because without gratitude, without the awareness, you can never change it. So the awareness in itself should carry an unbelievable amount of gratitude because now that I'm aware of it, I can change it. It's fucking incredible. And literally you walk in one direction and then you flip the coin. He has a beautiful coin, flips it, and he walks in the other direction of what is true for the person in that moment. So the person might try to say, oh, I fucking love myself, but that's not the truth in it. No, probably the truth in it is I'm learning to like myself a little bit more every day. Everybody wants instant transformation. Everybody wants the fucking inject me now and I'm superhuman. I'm like, yeah, man, but you've been running that pattern for 40, 50, 60 years, bro. I'm like, the fuck do you expect? And this will change. This honestly changes lives in 3 days. That's it. It's unbelievable how well we can manipulate ourselves and the neuroplasticity of our mind to be able to change from that pattern to this pattern. And then that pattern plays out and it'll play out in all these other different scenarios that we haven't seen yet. And then you'll see this new scenario and be like, fucking hell, that's that little pattern. I'm just going to readjust that. It was like a off ramp on the motorway. We're just going to readjust that off ramp over here. So my framework is always, call it the sovereign man framework. It's always from that default map to the sovereign map. The sovereign map is your ability to understand your thinking, understand your vision, understand what it takes to get there, your awareness, your boundaries, all the things, and use that map. Fucking changes your world in a short space of time. And it's unbelievable. It's cool watching people. It's funny. I had this conversation the other day. Everybody likes to think, we had this guy, Steve, an awesome guy. He was in sales at Sales Sniper back in the day, but really awesome guy. He used to say, what is it? You're unique, but your problems aren't special. And everybody loves to think their problems are special. I'm like, they're just not, mate. They're just not that special. And the funny thing is after doing this job for a long period of time now, it's not that it gets boring, but actually I can so well see exactly what's going on for a guy. I can see his energy. I can see his patterns. I can see everything that's going on. It's literally a puzzle piece. And I'm just like, move that puzzle there, put that puzzle piece there, move that there. Okay, job done. Now you're on the path. And there's an element of boredom there because it's that. And this is a little kind of side quest, but boredom is the thing that destroys us because guys do it in business. As soon as their business gets boring, which means it gets good normally, a boring business is a good business, they find a way to sabotage it because it's fucking boring. I want excitement because they don't have excitement in their life in terms of living on that edge. So I always say beware of boredom. It's a good place to be and it's a very dangerous place to be. But yeah, that's the just a side caveat when coaching men becomes, it's repetitive. It's a recipe. It works every time.
Just like
I'll put a thing, it works every time that a man shows up for it. And that's one thing I've changed in my life. I've got anal retentive with the people that I work with because I've done that enough time. I've had enough sales calls in my life. I've met enough people to be like, no, man, it's just not going to work. Just not going to work for you.
And what daily habits are the real game changers that when you see people implement them that really makes it spark and put them on that upward spiral for the win?
I'll give you one that I always forget to use. And then when I use it again, it changes my life. So recently I actually fell off my bike and it screwed up my whole body. Energy was stuffed, like just ruined me. So wondering what was going on. Suddenly all the stress was hitting me. I was like, what the hell? And my beautiful wife's like, you need to get back and do your meditation, Josh. Sort your shit out. And she's like, every time you do it, business blows up, everything's good again, and you're off. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I just don't have time right now, blah, blah, blah. Story. And then, so I'd gone to the osteo, got a couple of things realigned. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do this little meditation. I have this little technique that I run through. And I'll share it with you as well. But that little thing, and it can be 5 minutes, it can be 20 minutes, whatever, instantly changes the game. My frequency and vibration will raise so quickly that I'll get to messages in my inbox and be like, hey man, how do we do work together? Hey man, can I buy some of your time? Hey man, this. And I'm like, within that time, 2 more revenue streams in the business come in. It's wild. It's proper wild. And I simply do it like this. So for people, I'm not religious, but I'll use the term God or Jesus or whatever the things, prayer. So the idea of prayer was Your prayers are always answered, and they're always answered with a yes. But it's a yes, or a yes, but not yet, or a yes, but I have something else in mind. And so when people pray, you'll notice that people pray with thanks. Rather than praying, I want to know what the lottery tickets are, or I want this thing, they pray with, thank you for the courage. Thank you for the wisdom. Thank you for the abundance that's in my life. Thank you for the ability to earn the money, to grow the business, to develop my relationship, to have the health. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because it already exists, right? And they receive the thing that already exists because it is mirrored back to their life, because that is their frequency of life. It is abundance. And so when I do a meditation practice, people talk about manifestation. And I'm like, yeah, I used to really judge that hard. I pushed against the manifestation world because I just had some pretty heavy judgment about people running around with crystals and selling manifestation courses and things. But I got to the point where my meditation is stillness, followed by deep gratitude, followed by the visual aspiration for the things that are coming into my life.
Simple scales, fancy fails, as they're saying.
Yep. And then the last piece is cool. And thank you very much for this. And what is one thing that I can do today? What is one thing I can do today? And it'll be, sometimes it's like, hey, reach out to this guy. Literally, it'll be that. Cool. Sometimes it'll be send a message or sit with your wife or whatever it is. And I just make that my first priority for the day and I go do that thing first. And then the rest of the day, I can take care of itself.
Tell me, you marry, you have kids yourself, also work with a lot of people that has a lot of skin in the game. Tell me, why do so many successful men struggle in relationships? They have the business, the numbers, everything on the outside figured out, but they also know to stress a lot about it.
Yeah. As people get more and more financially successful, the ultimate goal is actually mitigating their risk. So one of the riskiest things you can do as a wealthy man is get divorced. Fuck up your relationship. It's the fastest way to halve your assets. So it's like that's your biggest risk is your relationship. And it's actually your best teacher as well. But what I see in the men is focus. They're more excited about the numbers because the numbers are the things that are matched to their identity. Their identity isn't how good their relationship is. That's not their identity. How much their wife loves them, that's not their identity. And so they pour all their energy into business. And I just use a simple term. I'm like, okay, you've got 4 boxes. You've got business, health, relationships, let's say spirituality or whatever. Right? You got 10 points. You got 10 tokens. You can spread them out however you want, but that's your maximum. They might decide to put 8 into their business. There might be the season of life there. It means they got 2 to put somewhere else. They got 3 boxes to spread 2 around. So you got a choice. And then the next, there's a couple of elements to it. Is one, people think relationships get boring. Like they lose the heat, the sex, the drive at the start. Like it's all fun, it's new, and think, oh, we get married and we get kids, and it just gets a bit habitual, and they become just another dependent or a flatmate that I share a drink with occasionally. It doesn't carry the excitement of business. And so they lose that. And we want excitement. We don't want boredom. When really, again, I don't do any business coaching, by the way. I don't touch anybody's business. And I had a guy the other day, he's like, you don't know anything about my business, Josh. How are you going to help me here? I said, mate, I don't know anything about business. If I can know everything about men and relationships and health. And I tell you what, all of the guys that have done that stuff have all done very well in business because your relationship is your greatest personal development tool. Your wife will show you things that you will never, ever get from business. Your business is like a fucking needle compared to the hay that is your relationship. And so I think what I generally see is men don't see the excitement. They don't see the ROI in it because the numbers driven, but mostly they don't have their identity wrapped up in how good their relationship is. And a key point is they don't have their relationship wrapped up in it until they experience the break and they're like, fuck, I'm not as successful as I thought. I thought I had it all together. And that is when they're like, fuck, maybe I don't have it all together. And I call that a midlife opportunity. Bless you.
Boom. And give us a simple daily system for energy, clarity, and focus. Aside from meditation, something that you do. Do you have a morning routine or something that really helps you?
Evening routine is the key. Like evening the routine, this is my simple one. I love having a clean kitchen in the evening because I love getting up and having my space. It's like instant clarity in my head. I don't drink caffeinate. I don't do any caffeine. I have decaf coffee. I make that. That is like my house is already set before I wake up. My training gear's out. My shoes are out. My water bottle's full. My computer's got my workout on it ready to go. I'm like, sweet. Eating routine, to me is like the number one thing for the next day. And it just, I'm ahead of the game. So I'm not playing catch up for the rest of the day, which I think is one of the biggest things people wake up. It's not the checking of their phone necessarily, it's the checking of the phone and feeling like they're behind. So now I've got no time for me. I gotta give the world everything. Like, no, man, got to fill up your cup first. So anything that you do, fill up your cup first, and then you can pour all day into your family, into your business. As long as your cup is full, you're good. The people who pour from an empty cup are the recovering nice guys who end up doing prideful acts that end up as resentment. They're like, I did this for you. And nice guys are everywhere. They're at the top of the business as well. They're the guys who say to their wives, but I make the money, I do all the stuff for you and the family. And I'm like, there's a nice guy for you right there. I'm like, it's a guy who's done a prideful act, moves through space and time, becomes resentment. No, you do business for you, mate. Fill up your cup first. So any routine that you decide, as long as it's filling you up, cool.
If someone listening feels stuck, what are the first 3 steps to reset?
Take all your money and spend it on a coach. Just everything you've ever invested, pour it into a coach. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why not?
Like, the first thing is, like, this is the coolest thing about life. All the great hacks are free. So simple. To be able to make any sort of change in your life, any sort of change, you have to have space. And the masculine, not male, the masculine energy creates space because it holds boundaries. It creates a frame. You need space to see your thoughts. You need space to check in with your body and like, fuck, am I holding, I got all this tension in my shoulders? Yeah, because you don't even breathe properly. Something like, I think it's like 98 or 96% of the population have a reverse breathing pattern. It's one of the first things I fix in men. Honestly, first thing, hey bro, show me how you breathe. Okay, you don't breathe right. Let me fix that for you. And the game changes. Once you create space, it is the key because you can analyze how you're thinking. And the greatest return on investment is how you think. That is the first thing in your game. Like, it doesn't matter wherever you're starting, that is free shit. Just create space for yourself to think. The next one is hydration. Drink enough water. 0.033 times your body weight in kilos is how many liters of water you should drink a day. And this sucks that I have to say this now, but you've got to drink quality water. The water that you get from your tap is shit. It is shit. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. It is shit. I live in New Zealand. We are meant to be clean, green. It is shit. I have the best investment that I put on my house is this filtration system I got from this wacko guy who's a Kiwi living in Australia. He's coming to visit me next week. It's got an energizer on it. It energizes all my water. My kid was never bathed in chlorine or anything like that. He's never had eczema, nothing. And then all our water is remineralized and it is the best. Thinking, breath, water.
Boom.
Sorry, the water thing costs. I lied. They're not all free. The water filter does cost, but those are 3 things.
I also recently had my new water filter for the shower as well. I could feel a difference, and definitely says the same on the skin, and it compounds over time, the overall quality
Everything,
of
mate.
life.
You get water in your system, it's just unreal.
Yeah, we are majority made of water, so. And tell me, what books or resources change your life the most?
Well, Dr. Kerry Spackman, Winner's Bible at the stage of my life. I believe books are all about timing. Books are all about timing in your life. So I loved, one of my favorites is The Road Less Traveled by Scott Peck. It's a lovely book. And then I love William Whitecloud. He did The Magician's Way and The Last Shaman. And The Last Shaman it's very etherical, but at the same time, I believe in those things and those things have happened to me and they've happened to friends. So it's an adventure in a book. So yeah, those are my books at the moment. There's another one.
Nice stack. And
Yeah.
tell me, what's one belief every man should delete today?
Ooh. God, if I could wipe the world with that, if I could just sprinkle genie dust over the world, the one belief would just be, you're enough. If you can get there across your entire life, come and talk to me. You can tell me how to do it in sprinkles because it takes me time to get men there. And even as I grow, it shows me where I still don't feel enoughness. And that is the thing that I think not enough is one of the biggest drivers of the separation we have in the world and the thing that causes jealousy and pulls people apart. We operate from that place of not good enough, not enough,
Place of
unworthy.
lack of abundance. And
Just lack,
the
man.
stress
Like you
difference.
watch people who transform into that abundant mindset. I'm watching my business mentor, like it's called Spirodynamics, and we talked about it the other day. I said, mate, you've jumped, you've gone to a whole nother values level. And he's like, man, that's funny you mentioned that because it's just started changing and just ever think about how he's operating life, and it's fucking magical to watch. I'm like, dude, I'm hot in your coattails. I'm holding on. Take me for this ride. It's amazing. It's really cool to watch.
And boom. And just like you said, most men don't have just a performance problem. They have an alignment problem and having their foundations in order first. And until they fix that, no amount of money, muscle, or success will feel like it's enough for them. And Josh, if someone resonates with this and wants to really go deeper, where should they go? How can people find you?
Before that, I want to share one thing on that I think is
For sure.
really cool. Difference between goal and vision. So like goal is all performance metrics. It's all outcomes. Where if men can switch to vision and change it to who am I becoming, the whole game changes, because they'll become someone. And at the end, you can't take that away. It doesn't finish. It's just like, holy shit, I'm this person. My body's this thing. I'm this person. Wow. So that's vision. And then everything else, it's called the be, do, have model. Everything else becomes from being. You don't even fucking worry about have. Be, and all the other stuff takes care of it. So yeah, for guys thinking about shit am I based in performance metrics? Am I these things? Look for a change into vision and identity around that vision rather than just your goals. You still have your goals, but vision goes further. So yeah, if the men want to find me, the School for Men. Like, I've always had the teacher in me. Yeah, School for Men, they can go there. We developed that for giving men the resources just to become amazing dads, awesome husbands, and just incredible in all facets of their masculine life.
Amazing. So if you're a high performer who feels that quiet disconnect, go check out the Uncommon Man project. I'll drop all the links in the bio below. And also take their pressure test. You have that as well.
Yeah, mate, we've actually altered it. We've put it as a masculine scorecard. It just gives you a quick identity piece of like where the things are showing up in your life and what you can quickly change.
That's the easy way to figure out what's really draining your energy and fix it at the root level. Anything else before we wrap it up today, Josh, that you want to share with us?
Appreciate the time. Thanks for sharing this to the world. I love seeing everybody do awesome, but I particularly love working with men and seeing them do really well. So this is cool. I'm glad someone's helping.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep up the
Thanks.
great work, guys. Take care.